You guys will never guess who sent this lock to me, and a whole bunch more just like it. Beautiful little ERA lock from Waddock 2, recent package I got. These are rarely found here in North America, so I thought I'd take a moment to describe them. This is called a curtain lock, and let's show you how it works. Obviously the bolt sticking out there, slide this dude in and it retracts the bolt, but a little more to it than that when you look closely at this keyway. You see a little sleeve right here, and they call this a curtain. And that's because you can't see through him to see those levers. So it's the curtain between you and those levers. There is an opening right here for the key, and then when we start to turn it, it will turn to a certain point, and then it'll start to tension. And that's right about there, as far as it will turn. So that's where you got to reach through that little slot to pick all the levers, which are located right up in here, I think. So the problem with these, of course, is with that narrow slot, if you take the typical wire that we've seen me use on many different locks and you slide him in there, you see he's got a really limited range of movement inside of there. We want to be able to rotate him that way, upwards, to reach those levers. And because that straight wire really can't do that because of the width of this slot in the curtain, we need a special wire. And that's where our bent wires come into play. So here's a wire that's bent a little bit, and that would allow us to kind of hook him over the edge, and that gives a lot more freedom of movement and also allows him to reach up there and get at those levers where a straight wire probably wouldn't. Now this is, notice it's curved to the left, so we're picking the levers on the left side. So we set him down, and if we go to the other side, if we're trying to pick it from this side, you'll notice this lever, he's turned the wrong way. He's not going to do us a bit of good. In fact, he's just the opposite. So usually these come in pairs. And so here's the same style bent, except this one's bent to pick from the opposite side of the door. So you get two pair, and they're going to be identical. So in this case, I have a set of 6 wires. It's one left and one right. So a set of 3, actually, with one left and one right. Anyway, enough yakking. Let's go ahead and put this thing back together, clamp them up, and I'm going to show you something new. It just came in the lock lab. All right, everything you're getting ready to see is handmade by Andy Mack in the UK. There's his website and there's his email address. If you're interested in anything you're getting ready to see, just contact him directly. That's what I did. All right, I put everything in this case, and I'm actually going to show you 2 generations of some of Andy's stuff. The first thing I want to show you are the wires that you get with the kit. They have different colored handles, and in this case, they're just different size tips. So all the red-handled ones are, as you see, the curves are going to the right, and on the black handles, the curves go to the left. Identical, just opposite bends in the wires. These are the Gen 1s, and I've been using these for quite a while. I don't know how long it took Andy Mack to hand make each of these, but you get 2 of them because there are 2 different size curtains. One is a 5G and the other is a 7G. It's irrelevant. What I usually do is just try to fit the big one in there. If it fits great, I use it. If it's too big, then you only have one other choice, and that would be the 5G. They look a lot like the key. Let me grab the key. So they have a little limiting collar right there, just like you find on the key, and all the bitting of obviously is missing, and the little tip sticking out, so it slides past all of the levers, and then you start to turn, and that's what tensions the lock on the far side, leaving you total access to those levers, provided you use the right wire. So we have a 5G and a 7G, and this is Gen 1. Gen 2, he just released it not too long ago, and these are fantastic. I really like these for a couple reasons. First of all, the machine work on these is just awesome. Probably CNC, I have no idea. But the thing I really like about them, they're heftier, they're more substantial. They got a great lever that you can adjust one side or the other depending on which side of the lock you're going after. Maybe a door jamb or something in your way allows you to move that. And the big thing to me, let me grab a wire here, is there's a guide all the way down the entire length, and it keeps that pick tip in the zone, and it keeps it oriented correctly. In the old ones, they have a groove, but only on the back. So the wire tended to get sometimes a little bit cockeyed left and right, and you'd find yourself grabbing 2 or 3 levers at the same time. So in terms of precision, these allow me to place that tip a lot more precisely. I just really like these. Again, you got two sizes, a 5 and a 7. And there's a little tips. Let me go ahead and get all this arranged and see if we can't get this lock picked using these new tools. All right, let's try the larger one. No go. Well, wait a minute. Nope, he's not going in. The tip of it just barely fits in there, but only sideways. All right, so let's go with the 5. He's a little loose, but he's the only choice we got. And he does rotate, he does tension, everything's good. All right, let's find the right length of the wire. And the way I normally do this is before I begin applying any tension, I'll take my wire and I slide it down that groove until it lines up with the keyway. Notice how that wire just barely clears the bottom of that keyway. That's the length that we want, just like it was the original key. So slide it all the way in there and then rotate the whole mess until you get some tension. All right, let's see if we can get this guy picked. My finger is up against the back of the pick, and that's because when I pull, let me turn this just a little bit so you can see, I pull back with my thumb, and that's how I kind of index where that wire is and on which lever. So that's how you keep track. Makes things a little bit easier, a little more precise. Apply just very light tension. And if this has false gates, you'll see why. And most of these that Rich sent to me, I think, probably have false. Yeah, I think I just found one. That was the first lever. He was tensioning a little bit. And as soon as I hit him, we got a rotation. And now nothing else is binding. So I'm going to recock it. Yeah, so lever 1 fell back down. Now what I'm going to do is apply, I know lever 1 has a false gate. I'm going to apply a little bit of tension and a very light. I'm going to rotate the pick and push lever 1 up past the false gate. And then once I get it past the false gate, kind of let him fall, release tension, let him fall a little bit. And he might fall into the right gate. Let's keep looking to see if that worked. It's a technique. I'm not saying it's going to work today, though. Okay, that was lever 3. Again, I might have found a false gate. I'm not really sure. Because I did get some turn on that core. That's definitely a false gate. So I'm on lever 3. So now what I'm going to do, that's a deep false gate. He's going nowhere. If you're in a false gate, it's really difficult to get out. But here's one technique. Keep your wire on the lever that you believe has the false gate. Don't release it. In fact, increase your tension a little bit. And then let everything else fall. Release tension, let it fall, and then put it back. It's kind of like picking a spool. You got to release a little bit of tension to get ahead again. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't. Got one lever back there, 4. There we go. Kept sliding past him. He didn't want to. I think we hit a false gate again. That was lever 2. And now I've lost my spot. So I'm going to put it on what I believe is lever 2 and release some tension. Maybe I can get him to fall back down. Maybe I can shove him past the false gate. Oh. Or maybe not. One is still good. I think 3 is still good. There's a false gate again on lever 1. Let me check the rest of them, make sure I didn't misjudge him. Yeah, he's definitely a false gate. We are stuck. There's 3. There we go. Man, this thing is full of false gates. All right, let's take a look. Might as well. These things are a lot easier to gut. I don't generally screw these up too badly, unlike some of the pin tumblers, because there's only 2 screws to take out. And Makes it real easy to figure out what's inside of there too. All right, takes a Phillips screwdriver. See if Rich put Loctite on these. He did not, thank goodness. Maybe he glued that on. Nope. All right, everything's working in our favor. All right, really nice innards, first of all. I don't know what the make on this lock is. It's not marked anywhere, but we got a solid bolt, so that's not going to be broke. A lot of them you can find are hollow, really cheap metal. This one is not. It looks to be all brass. And then we have our levers, and you see this little spring popped up. That's what keeps tension on the levers and pushes them down. Right away we can see, I know this is beginner stuff, but we don't often get a chance to play with these here in North America. These are the gates, and I was talking about a false gate, and there's the false gate right there. So let's go ahead and push all this stuff up, slide our bolt back, and now you can see what would happen. When I put pressure on the bolt to push it backwards, it pushed back and that piece of the bolt got stuck in that false gate right there. And once he's in there, man, that's solid. He is going nowhere. All you can do is hope to release enough pressure to allow it to, kind of like a spool, release a little pressure from the bolt and allow it to slide up to find the actual gate, which is, of course, right there. These happen to be numbered. I think this is a cut 3. And the next one, that's only one, right? Next one, we have a cut 1. There also is a false gate on cut 1. Come out of there, you. Another cut 1 and another false gate. Wow, okay, well this is interesting. I'm glad we got to see this. This is a cut 5, but there is no false gate before the actual gate. They tried to trick you. There are actually false gates after, and the reason they do that is so that we can't overlift all the levers at the same time and then let them all fall to find the actual gate. Putting cuts below the actual gate prevents us from doing that. So I didn't know we were going to see that, but kind of cool. And the last lever, come out of there, is another cut 1, again with the same false gate. It's a little disappointing, a lot of 1s in here, but at least you get the idea. Here's the curtain. You can see there's only an opening there. So when we turn it, we're actually picking up like that. He's at about that angle. So when our wire slides in there, let me grab the curved wire of the right side. So what's happening, get up there, cooperate with me. This thing is spring loaded. Let me pull that lever out. Well, I got to leave him for a demo. Come on, get in there. Get in there. There we go. All right, so that's the position he would be at. So by having a bent lever or bent wire, this allows us to get in there and lift it just a little bit higher than we would be able to do with if it was just a straight wire. Anyway, guys, there you go. I think it's an ERA and all of Wadok 2's locks and Andy Mack's new pick kit. Gosh, we covered a lot of stuff. Sorry it took so long, but hey, new stuff takes a little extra time. Appreciate your time, guys. Stay safe, stay legal.